Hi guys, I'm back, and before I get into the view, let me just say something. What do you need to power a game system? A power supply, right? Yeah, but that's what I'm doing. Sometimes they're so big, they can't take up the entire wall. Sometimes they feel like you're just gonna break your arm. Yeah. Sometimes they're so light, you don't even know they're there. Sometimes they're so thin, they take up no space. Sometimes they're so dang huge, they can't even be put on the wall. So they have to be on the ground. Let's get started, shall we? It's hot in here. Yep, I'm gonna check them all off one by one. First off, the normal phone stand charger or base thing. Yeah, they're usually around 6.9 volts. Very, very tiny, but have a lot of weight to them. Now here's one of those that's so big you can't put it on a wall. I mean, yeah, PS2 Slim doesn't. You don't want to mess with it. It's huge. And yet, for something that could simply stay on a wall, they had to go and do this. It doesn't make any convenience. You don't want to mess around with this. It doesn't need to be this. I mean, sure, NES had a big one, but still, it was smaller than this, and it could actually fit on the wall. It ends in a normal cable, sure. Let's get to the next one. Atari 2600. This isn't their original one. I got this because mine came with nothing. It was just a system. If you come over here and look at the end, it's got like a headphone jack. Come on. Yeah, a headphone jack. And like a light switch. Overall, this is the weirdest AC adapter I've ever seen. Golden art. Sure. And it's really long. Next up we have my Retro Duo plug. A tiny warning. 5 volts. That's why it's so small. You could use it. It's not even counted as a paperweight. It doesn't have any weight whatsoever. Yeah. PS1 AC adapter. Again, this is probably huge, but it's huge but very light. These things should be banned. Have the end like a normal plug, not have a huge box right after it. It's so inconvenient. Sega Genesis. Sega. The Sega AC adapter, small for its size, but very, very heavy. I'd say about 2 pounds. 1 pound. But still, to have this hanging against the wall, over time, it could make a dent in the wall. Yeah. Super Nintendo AC adapter. Again, doesn't need to be this big. Huge and heavy. Again, dent in the wall. So better give it some pillowcases. Dang it. NES power adapter. Same size. I don't get it. Why do they have to be so dang big? Oh, you haven't seen big yet. We're getting to them. So, if you have all these, be sure to have them either laying down or upside down, because they'll break your wall. This is another one that works for the NES. It has probably the longest wire I have ever seen in a AC adapter. Ends in a normal plug, like that. Box over here. Everything should be like this. Except for the fact that it could set your house on fire by the heat it generates on the carpet. Or wood, whatever you have. Next up, Nintendo 64 adapter. This is what most game consoles should have. Sure, it's huge, but at least the end of it doesn't have the box. The box goes into the game system. Best design yet. It doesn't cause any inconvenience whatsoever. I don't include the PS3 because you can use a computer plug. This, surprisingly, works for the NES. 12 volts. It's 5 pounds. I am not kidding. 5 leaping pounds. This will cause an earthquake if it hits. Yeah, that was stupid. Well, it at least works. I have many AC adapters for the NES. GameCube. It's huge. Absolutely huge in comparison with the last one. But it's half the weight. Half the weight. Yeah. If I had a ColecoVision, I swear to God, the AC adapter would be as big as this. What? At least it has the normal ending cord, but for a large game system like the GameCube, it has a teeny little AC in. So, yeah, what's up with that? How much voltage does it need? 12 volts. Might as well just use this. Again, it's huge. And the moment you all been waiting for. Xbox 360. This thing is absolutely huge. I mean, you don't even want to know how big this thing is, unless you already have one. You think you can use a normal computer plug like everything else, like the PS3, right? No, it has 2 prongs, won't work. I don't know, I never tried it. But I don't want to try it, it might set the house on fire. Look at how huge this thing is. I said earlier of how big this thing is. I mean, still it's gigantic. But this is ridiculous. Okay, is it just me, or is this huge abomination to mankind heavier than this giant piece of dog turd? Oh yeah, look at the end of it. This goes into the 360. If you lose or somehow break your adapter for the 360, you're not going to get another one unless you either specially order it or get a new 360, which both would be a waste of money because there's no other AC adapter like this. It's huge. The biggest one I bet mankind has ever seen. My house should be made of these, they're so big.